started the show, you think, well, maybe we'll go 3 seasons, we'll just kill 3 people. And now we're starting our 6th season, so we go to work and all the actors are nervous that it's they who are going to go next. My career started as a stand-up comedian, and I did a very silly movie, The Jerk, a couple of silly movies. I noticed that I started to transition into like Father of the Bride. Now, Father of the Bride, you have a very personal, intimate scene, emotional scene, and then 2 minutes later I'm falling into a bush. And I realized, that's all part of it, is to make that seamless and seem real. And so I think I just kind of became my thing in a way. And Marty does it so well too. First of all, he's incredibly experienced. I mean, he's had a lifetime. He started when he was 12 in his attic. Recording shows like a Tonight Show, and he'd put in applause. So he has a lifetime of acting, and he's done incredible serious roles. I think he did one on the morning show, and I think he was nominated for that. And I happened to see it's like Emmy predictions for comic actor, and it said Martin Short 100%. And I started to send it to him, and I said, I'm not sending him that.
We kind of have to do this big season pitch to, for Hulu and to 20th and everybody, and let them know what all of the season is going to look and feel like. And sometimes we do that early on without a real full sense when we get to the back half of the season, how each episode is going to lay out. So I remember like bookmarking episode 8 and just titling it without any other knowledge of what this story was going to be. I just called it Ladies' Night. And I made a big deal about it was going to be Ladies' Night. Mainly because we had this extraordinary, Scott, you could not be more right. It is bonkers who comes on this television show, and it's all due to Steve Martin and Martin Short and Selena Gomez being these magnets. And then this brilliant supporting cast who's on with us tonight. Really, it's outrageous. Everybody's just brilliant on the show. And we pull these incredible people, Christoph and Renee. But this show that you all just saw with Diane Wiest and Renee Zellweger and Dave Vine being absolutely brilliant. The table and dealing with Steve and Marty in therapy. I can't even. But then Michael and Beanie and everybody. Beanie. It's just bonkers who's in the show. But it was this one particularly was one we had to sort of go right to the stars.
John, can I answer the question that Scott asked if you didn't? I think the question was, do we find somebody we want to use and then write them in? No, we write the characters first, and then we cast it. You can't say, hey, we got, Ryan Reynolds. What can he do? You have a character. Is there a person named Ryan Reynolds? Did I make that up? Sounds like somebody.
I have to add one other dumb thing that I left out. Did I really leave out Meryl Streep when I was going to? I did.
I went into my fitting for this season, my first fitting, and the amazing costume designer was like, I heard in an interview that you like wearing this one brand, and I think it could work for your character as well. So I went and contacted the designer, and we bought almost everything that they had. And I was like, what? Can I keep them? But it's the amount of care, or they'll be like, do you feel like we should trim your locks now a little bit? It's being the timeline wise, maybe they grew a little bit. I'm like, are people gonna really know? And they're like, they may know. And I'm like, I respect that. Trim the locks. But it's just yes, is that these people are at the top of their game, and it makes it really hard when you then have to go work on other sets. Because I'm like, why are we not talking about trimming my locks? Don't you think that I should wear this designer for my character? I did have to learn how to be a master card shuffler in under 24 hours with nails. But, you know, we figured it out. And they brought in this really cool guy who's like super, super famous, right?
Derek Gardio.
You get it, yeah. He was more intimidating than these guys, and I was like, oh my gosh. But no, it was so much fun and exciting, and it just, I don't know, it just gets more and more enriched. And I agree with you, it's quite astonishing that we just said that today. That we're like, we've been doing this for 6 years.
6 years, unbelievable.
It doesn't feel like 6 years at all, but we're so grateful that you guys continue to.
The scene at the card table when you're dealing, Davon. We have Davon Joy Randolph, Diane Weiss, Renee Zellweger, Meryl Streep, right? That is 8 Oscars at one table.
We would count them. And as Marty would come in and go, there's 1, there's 2, there's 4.
Hi, sorry I'm not there. I'm doing a play in New York City.
Ooh, Michael's got a job.
You and Lester, the robot Lester, I mean, there's real chemistry there. I feel like there's sparks flying.
He's still texting me.
Yeah.
So is the pig. Yeah, no, I have had some crazy things to do. I mean, there's been the dog, the pig, and the cats, and some people act with Meryl Streep. I got that robot. It's all great fun, and I trust John and these writers and the set, as Devine said, it's like the greatest set to be on. There's no, it's really a set where you're not afraid of failing because it's just so buoyant and fun. So I have no problem and no shame acting with the robot. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm always excited to see what they're going to throw at me, and I think I always make it work.
And we should also note that Michael also hosts the Companion podcast, which I wonder if dissecting what goes on in the show has made you think about your character or the storyline or anything else a bit differently, going that in depth.
Yeah, I mean, I think about my character probably more than I should. I know a lot about him. But I love dissecting the story. I'm one of the cast members that doesn't like to know where it's going until I read the last episode. So season by season, I have been convinced I was both the killer and going to be killed. But the fingers are crossed.
I said to Michael, I met him on like season 6, I say, Michael, have you noticed that your character through the years has become more evil? And he said, yes.
Yes, I wonder, first of all, had you been keeping up with the show, wanting to be a part of the show? Just how did this all begin?
Yeah, so I was sitting in my wife's cousin's house in Liverpool in the UK, and I get a call, and they're like, they want you to be on Only Murders in the Building. And I was like, I don't care if it's one line. I don't care if I'm a tree. I don't care if I hold the door. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm there. And I had no idea what the character was originally. I just said yes. I was like, whatever it is, I say yes. And then a couple weeks went by, and finally John was like, do you want to get on the phone with me? I was like, I would absolutely love that, John. Thank you. Tell me what I'm going to be doing. And he was like, you're a person from Mabel's past, and they were best friends, and now she's a pop star. And I was like, no, I don't think I heard you correctly. Sing it out one more time. And he was like, and you will be singing an original song. And I was like, okay, I'm learning so much here. But the show is just like, as everyone has said, a magnet of good and delicious and kind and funny people. And I felt beyond lucky to be like a small player in their sandbox. And working so closely with Selena, we had worked together once years ago, but very briefly. And so to get such a real juicy, really special storyline for Mabel and to be a part of that was just so special. And I was always a fan of the show. My wife is like the biggest fan of the show. So when I told her, I like came back into the room in her cousin's house, and I was like, but we didn't tell anyone else for weeks, and she was freaking out. But yeah, I mean, I feel genuinely so lucky to walk those halls. And I will say also, their crew is like the kindest crew I've ever worked with. That everyone that works on the show, it's not just the people you see here tonight or on screen, are really like the kindest and at the top of their game. And you can feel it in every frame. And so I just felt so lucky to be there.
It's great.
Beanie, I just want to say, because I know you said the co-writers of that song that she sang are there, and the third co-writer of that song is a good friend of mine who's also, he's also written a great book recently, but he's also well known from American Idol and his recording days is David Archuleta.
Well, let's actually stick on the song for a moment. Beanie, Wish You Were Me, talk about, learning that, delivering that. Also, was there any kind of conferring with Selena about just, if not her own experience as a pop star, at least things she might have seen or experienced along the way?
Every day I would just laugh and be like, it is so funny that I'm doing this in your face right now. Like, it was so ridiculous. And I think my first day, John was directing the episode, and he let me add in this little line about the paparazzi to her that made it into the show. That made me, I was like, you'll get used to it. You'll get used to it, which made me so happy. But it was just, another moment, like Steve said earlier, like just a wink and a nod at the audience of like, we know exactly what's going on here, and it's delicious. But the song, thank you to the writers, it was just so beyond perfect. And I will say that the day we recorded it, the Jonas Brothers were in the recording studio next door. It was only the two of us, like the two studios on the floor recording, and I was like, that feels right. That's good. I'm on the car with the Jonas Brothers, and I walked into the hallway to go to the bathroom, and Joe Jonas was just in the hallway, and he looks back at me and he's like, hello, and I was like, hello. Entire interaction, I was like, I am also at the level of the Jonas Brothers. Sunday for me. But yeah, the song is just perfect, and hearing Richard Kind sing it on the piano. Hearing you two in the elevator was one of my favorite days on set. The two of you singing it was magic, so I just felt so lucky.
And the robot, everybody's worried that AI is going to take over. This robot couldn't hit a mark if you... No sense of humor. The robot, timing. There was a man named Ryan who was on the prop team that was and they were like, Ryan, make his arms move. Poor Ryan was belabored, but he worked so hard. It's the entire, and I'm just echoing what John and everybody says, the entire crew is out of control. I mean, we have an episode that's a flashback episode, episode 2 of this season. And the amount of care they put into what Howard looked like before he came out till after he came out. They had pictures of me from the 90s with my hair parted in the middle. They made a wig that looked just like it. I got a shell necklace. They put so much thought into even costumes that would be seen for truly 2 seconds. And the hair, Jameson, and just all of them. Everybody is incredible. It is the gift that keeps giving. And as everybody says, Steve, Marty, and Selena, from day one that I was there in season 1, have treated me like a peer, which is wild. It was wild. Now it seems right.
Oh, you are on tonight!
I was at the theater.
2 more plays.
2 more plays.
But it's a dream. It's a dream, and I think it really does show on screen.
Nice.
And I just have to add that the set decorators are so unbelievable. We walk into these rooms and it's like you're in a real place. There's absolutely no evidence of falseness. And I mean, Meryl's apartment, apartments in the building, you literally feel you are in a real place.
I mean, there's some.
Then you walk out and fall off the wooden steps floor.
There is a 6th season that we can all look forward to. What is there anything you can tease about just when you get started, where you're headed, when we might actually get to enjoy that?
The only thing we can say is at the end of this season, Tina Fey is the victim, and so we have to find out who axed Tina Fey.
Right. And that will take you to London. Is that right, John?
We are heading to a miraculous full season in London. And that is so sweet for the show. It's something that we've been thinking about for a few seasons as a dream, really, honestly, just because it felt like a natural fit, sister city to New York, and it also felt like if we could find the best way to make that happen, and everybody decided that it could be possible for it to happen, it just felt like take us to the origin of the cozy murder mystery with this little New York gem, and potentially just get crazy with a whole new sort of energy and vibe for a moment, and but keep touchstones as we will with people here, and keep alive the spirit of the show in every way. I think we're just very, very excited about what's coming together, and I was just on lots of calls about it earlier tonight, but it's going to be a hell of a season.
I mean, it's funny that we didn't know whether we could reveal we're going to be shooting in London, but in a month we'll be shooting on the street, so everybody will see us anyway. It's not a secret.
Right.
Don't tell.
Well, congratulations to you all.
Thank you very much.
Great fifth season. Good luck with it. And thank you for being here.
Thank you.